It was great.
All right, Eddie, thank you. Tony Abbott has taken another hit in the polls. The Fairfax Ipsos poll has this morning Malcolm Turnbull as preferred Liberal leader on 41%. That's almost double the 23% for Julie Bishop. 15% just for Tony Abbott. Labor leader Bill Shorten has also increased his lead over Mr Abbott in the preferred Prime Minister stakes, and on two-party preferred Labor has opened up an 8-point lead over the coalition, which would translate to a loss of 36 coalition seats at the next election. Still a long way to go, though. I'm joined now by Assistant Treasurer Josh Frydenberg. Josh, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Koshi.
Are you worried about these figures that are out today? That's a big lead from Malcolm Turnbull in preferred Prime Minister. Have you got the right person leading you guys?
Oh, absolutely, and we're more than 1 year out from the poll, and if you look at the history of polls in federal elections, we've been further behind in 2001, further behind John Howard was behind Kim Beazley in 2004, behind Mark Latham. Both elections he got up to win. Look, we can't focus on the polls. What we've got to focus on is the job of strengthening the economy, boosting productivity and creating jobs, and that's what we're doing.
Look, I understand why you say that, but certainly there'd be a lot of backbenchers look at these results, and as they stand now, the loss of 36 coalition seats at the next election on a two-party preferred basis. The troops start to get a bit nervous when they see that sort of stuff, the potential loss of a seat.
Well, certainly the media likes to play this up, and, you know, we have to just keep our mind focused on what is the real job at hand and what we were elected to do, and that is to create thousands of new jobs. Now, we've created more than 300,000 new jobs since we've got into Parliament for this term. We're now trying to prosecute our free trade agreement with China, which will create tens of thousands of new jobs. We're talking about important tax reform, industrial relations reform, and competition reform. These are things that will create jobs, and that's good news.
Speaking of tax is one of the certainties in life, but apparently not for some big companies. They make hundreds of billions of dollars, yet they don't give anything to the tax man. Now a whistleblower with access to company documents has revealed on our Sunday night program the true extent of the global tax avoidance. As a result, Antoine Deltour is now facing jail.
So why did you copy it? Because I believe that this information wasn't known abroad. And that it could be useful to document a practice that had to change, in my opinion.
He says Australia is losing billions of dollars in tax. Josh, I know it's a big issue for both you and Joe Hockey to track down particularly overseas companies making big money here, not paying tax here. Why should big companies get out of paying tax, and how are you going in trying to claw it back?
Well, they certainly shouldn't get out of paying tax, and this is not a new problem, nor is this one exclusive to Australia. But we're working, Koshi, on a number of fronts. Firstly, we've actually passed legislation through the Parliament to tighten the rules so that we can go after these companies. One's called a Part 4A anti-avoidance provision of the Tax Act. Other things we're doing to reduce the amount of debt that these companies can hold. The second thing that we are doing is we've increased the penalties, so we've doubled the penalties for those people who are minimising their tax in an unfair way. Third, we're cooperating internationally. This is really important. Joe Hockey's done a fantastic job when we were president of the G20 to actually get companies to report to the Australian Tax Office about their worldwide subsidiaries, and that's really important to get a better handle on what's going. And then finally, we've actually increased the resourcing in the Australian Tax Office in the international division so that it's greater than it was under Labor, bigger than ever before, so we can go after these companies. Is
there going to be a Senate committee report out today naming and shaming Australian companies that aren't paying their right amount of tax?
Well, certainly there is going to be a Senate committee report out today, and certainly some people may try to name and shame. But can I put this figure to you, Koshi? There are around 800,000 companies that pay company tax in Australia, and company tax is our second largest tax take. It's about $70 billion a year. Just 12 companies are responsible for 1/3 of that total company tax take. So to say that those big resource companies or the big banks are not paying tax is actually not right. They are.
Okay. All right, Josh, good to see you. Here's Nat.
Great to be with you, Kosh.
Well, today